Previously on Broken Window Theory. On day 3 of our Urbex road trip through Italy, we woke up in this old church. The building was constructed already 350 years ago. This house of God is a part of a secluded hermitage, which was turned into a sanatorium at the end of World War I. Later, a modern hospital complex was built on the compound. Even though this used to be a place of faith, there is no hope left for the facility. It's a destiny many other Italian abandonments share, as we found out later on our adventure. Only one short message before this episode starts. We just launched a shop on Teespring, which means you can now find our merchandise, as well as some posters and prints, directly here on YouTube under our videos. In the end of this episode, I will tell you more about this feature. But at first, have fun and enjoy watching our latest documentary. Today's episode starts in a small village somewhere in northern Italy. Everything we know about this place so far is that this used to be an elementary school for children of the surrounding villages. Through an open cellar door, we are venturing to the upper floors of this place. Even though we don't know yet what's awaiting us upstairs. Straight away, we can spot the first classroom. This is probably where pupils had their chemistry lessons. Unfortunately, this classroom was already emptied out completely. But in most of the other rooms, we have more luck. Here, we can find real relics from the past. It nearly seems like time is standing still. Several living quarters suggest that the teachers of the school didn't only give lessons, but also lodged here. And what we're used to from Italian places by now, there are Christian symbols all over the place. As it turned out, this used to be a religious school back then, and all the students were taught by priests. And suddenly, we discover the highlight of this abandoned school. A fully furnished classroom that seems to have been completely untouched for decades. This is like a journey back in time. Everywhere on the walls, there are old maps of Italy and Europe. Apparently, pupils had their geography lessons here. In the Urbex community, this place is known as Globe School. You can probably guess why. If you like this place so far, good, but it gets even better. Look up and you can see this huge ceiling fresco, which shows the crown of a tree among other things. Wow, was our first thought. This room looks just perfect. But maybe a bit too perfect. Since all the other classrooms aren't as tidy as this one, or even completely empty as the one you can see right here, we guess that this room was arranged like that. Some other Urbex photographers were probably collecting different objects from the other rooms of this school in order to stage a small class. By the way, behind the last row is a picture on the wall that shows a saint called Leonardo Murialdo. He was a Roman Catholic priest back in the 19th century. After he was canonized by the Pope, the man founded a religious order. Till today, this community is organizing social and charitable work. Among others, the order was building and running this school. When we saw this, we first thought it's an alarm. But actually, this is just an Italian electric meter you can basically find in every other building as well. We were only wondering that we found something with power in a structure this old. Even after a long research on site and later at home on the internet, this site remains a mystery to us. We couldn't find any further information about the Globe School. It's not clear when and why in the first place this educational establishment was abandoned. Our guess is that the school basically wasn't needed anymore. Much bigger and modern facilities were built nearby, and children changed schools. And this one right here was simply forgotten. Since there wasn't much more to see inside Globe School, we ended our exploration early. We now want to use the remaining daylight to drive to another abandoned educational institute. Perched up on a hill, we discovered this old boarding school. Most parts of the building complex are a construction site at the moment, so we are trying to approach this place on hidden paths. We neither have any information about this college, nor did we see any pictures from the interior before. So, completely on our own, we are now sneaking inside. And we hit the jackpot. First thing we discover is this old chapel with nothing but natural decay. In the whole building, there isn't any graffiti or too much vandalism. As it seems, this school was strongly Christian influenced as well. In general, the whole history of this place reminds of the one from Globe School. But before we come to the story part, we should enjoy some more impressions of this forgotten paradise. The history of this place actually already begins in the Middle Ages. 1000 years ago, a castle was built on this hill somewhere in Italy. From the top you're able to overlook the whole area. It's said that the fortress rested here for 500 years, until it was destroyed around 1550. Instead, a monastery was constructed on the hill. But in the middle of the 19th century, it had to make way for this residential school. Also, this place was founded by a priest, exactly like the Globe School. And religion was accompanying the pupils the whole day as well. For around 150 years, children have been taught here. During this time, several thousand students were educated in this facility. Back then, the good reputation preceded the college. But today, apparently only a small number of people remembers this site, because for many years the historical school has been vacant. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out why it was abandoned in the first place. In those old pictures, the college looked classy and in good order. Nowadays, this can only be guessed, because meanwhile it was left to rot and the shine is lost. We assume that this is the old cafeteria. While students were eating here back then, today the color is peeling off, moss is growing on the walls, and the glass ceiling is falling down, bit by bit. whole building complex is extremely ramshackle. Especially the upper floors aren't safe anymore in many of the rooms. We have to be really careful where we step. Wind and weather are taking a toll. If this continues, the college won't stand for much longer. But as it seems, it doesn't have to at all. By now, most parts of the property are a construction site. The adjacent building complex is even nearly completely refurbished by now. Currently, the whole compound is turned into a senior residence. In near future, this health center is supposed to house 100 older persons. While a part of them will be cared of, some of the other elderly people have the chance to live completely independently in small apartments. 10 million euro were invested in this project in total to redevelop the prominent spot with stunning panorama.
So Leute, ich habe es geschafft. Bin auf dem höchsten Punkt des gesamten Gebäudes. Es ist wirklich sehr, sehr geil hier. Ich kann mich überhaupt nicht satt sehen. Problem ist nur, wir hatten das Ganze ja schon mal in Wien. Wenn man an so einem hohen Punkt ist, dann kann es eben gut sein, dass man von überall gesehen wird. Und dass dann jemand die Polizei verständigt. Kann also gut passieren, dass sie in 5 bis 10 Minuten da ist. Deswegen werden wir jetzt mal schnell abhauen und uns zu unserem heutigen Schlafplatz begeben. Bis später!
Soon the works in the first building will be done. Then this complex is next, and new life will be breathed into the old classrooms. And who knows, maybe former students of the institute are now old enough to end up here. And so, we come full circle. As mentioned in the beginning of this video, we just partnered up with Teespring. So from now on, you can get all of our merchandise directly here on YouTube. Soon we will offer more swag, canvas, posters and other stuff. And the best part, we can set the prices ourselves, so we will list the products as cheap as possible. But unfortunately, the Teespring integration with YouTube is only working in the US right now. But soon they're also launching here in Europe. We will keep you up to date, so stay tuned. Next time on Broken Window Theory. In the mid-season final of our series, we are exploring the most iconic abandoned place of Italy. Manicomio DR is an asylum with a very dark past. This site closed down in the 1980s and has been abandoned ever since. We were planning this mission for 2 years and finally the day had come. We can't wait to show you what we have found inside. Which one of those 2 derelict places did you enjoy more? Leave your opinion in the comment section down below. And don't forget to check out our new shop on Teespring. We will update our merchandise soon, so it's worth to keep an eye on that. Thanks for watching and keep exploring.